In the vast winter sky, Orion watches, secrets buried among the stars, inside locked rooms, files stamped, classified, hint at a story long suppressed. Whispers captured on aging tapes would ignite a decades-long investigation. On a cold February morning in 1954, something extraordinary happened. President Dwight D. Eisenhower vanished from public view for nearly 12 hours. The official story claimed he had a dental emergency, but witnesses inside Edwards Air Force Base said otherwise. They claimed the president was taken to a secure hangar to meet beings from the Orion constellation. In exchange for advanced technology, anti-gravity propulsion, energy devices, and materials unknown to human science, a deal was made. The aliens were granted permission to conduct limited biological studies on the human population. It was called the Orion Exchange Program. At first, only a handful of officials knew. Then the abductions began to rise worldwide. In the late 1970s, whispers from anonymous whistleblowers gave birth to a legend. Leaked documents, allegedly smuggled from Area 51, spoke of Project Sigma. This wasn't a weapons program but a top-secret communication link established between humans and extraterrestrials. The fragmented files described gray-skinned entities not as hostile invaders but as scientific partners. They were reportedly sharing vast amounts of biological information, including complex DNA data and even cryopreserved embryo samples for study. But buried within the technical reports was a single, chilling, handwritten annotation. In cold clinical script, it read, "Subjects unaware of participation, integration successful." The implications were staggering. Integration of what exactly? And the most terrifying question of all, who were these unwitting human subjects in this cosmic experiment? The answer seemed to lie in a disturbing pattern of disappearances across the country. Ordinary people vanishing from their homes without a trace, only to reappear days later. They were disoriented, with large gaps in their memory, and one other shared, inexplicable feature: faint surgical scars. As decades of silence wore on, the secret grew heavier. By the 1990s, a brave few insiders tried to expose the truth. They were scientists and military personnel who knew the risks, challenging a system built to protect its secrets at any cost. One was a brilliant Air Force linguist. Poring over deep space radio bursts, he found an encrypted channel. He decoded transmissions, revealing a direct line between the Pentagon and what he called Orion Command. The messages spoke of retrievals and non-human biologics. He was preparing to go public. Weeks later, his vehicle exploded under mysterious circumstances. The official cause was mechanical failure, but the timing was suspect. In the aftermath, every trace of his research was erased, his files and recordings vanishing as if they never existed. His official records were sealed, but his widow's story remains. She claims that hours after his death, agents confiscated his computers. They also took one other item, a strange metallic sample he kept locked in his desk, a piece of evidence that was never seen again. In 2016, a document surfaced from the dark web, its origins shrouded in mystery. Labeled Orion Directive Phase 2, it was initially dismissed as a sophisticated hoax, but its contents were too detailed, too specific to ignore, leaving only the chilling, unverified text. The directive described a chillingly precise plan to systematically replace key sections of the human genome with a sophisticated non-terrestrial code. This wasn't about enhancement. The stated goal was to prepare our species for what it termed integration, a complete biological merger with an unknown intelligence. The scientific community publicly decried it as elaborate science fiction. Yet, in private, a disturbing trend was emerging. Geneticists analyzing global DNA databases began discovering widespread, unexplained anomalies. These weren't random mutations, they were structured changes appearing simultaneously in disconnected populations across the globe. The patterns defied all known principles of natural evolution, forcing us to confront an unthinkable possibility. What if the directive was real? What if these anomalies aren't random mutations at all, but the first tangible signs of a silent, ongoing hybridization? From Eisenhower's secret meeting to the hidden Orion files, the pieces align. A silent agreement, decades of abductions, and a genetic evolution already in progress. If true, humanity may have never been in control of its own future. The Orion Treaty wasn't the beginning, it was the next phase of the hybrid program. Next episode, EP6, The Lunar Archives, Hidden Structures and Alien Control on the Moon, will uncover why NASA astronauts were ordered to remain silent, the mysterious signals detected from the moon's dark side, and how the hybrid program connects to ancient lunar bases. Production notes and credits for sources, music, and licensed stock appear on this slate.